You won't break my soul. You won't break our soul. You won't. Hello, 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 beautiful people. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the episode. Welcome to the show. How have you been? Hope everyone is good. Hope you've had a good week. I am good. Okay. I don't know if you guys remember, I don't know the particular episode where I said this. This particular man that I was at the gym and wanted to get in. They have a turnstile in the gym that I go to. And this man moved mad. He did another thing this week. I don't know why I saw him, but I had gone to the gym. I can't remember what day it was, but I went really, really late. I think it was the day when I was at the gym and I went on TikTok live as well. He was there. So let me tell you what happened. If this is not microaggression, I don't know what that is. You can make of it whatever you want to make of it. But I just find it really, really weird and disrespectful. So there's a staircase there. You come through the stairs, you get to the door, you use your fob. He was behind me. I got to the door, put my fob, and he just pulled the door behind me, went in before me, went through the turnstile, went to the reception, checked as if he owns the place. And I looked at him. If you know me, I have said this so many times. Whenever I have situations that is wild, I will literally have four things. At the worst, three ways that I'm going to deal with the situation. Most times, depending on how I feel, if I'm in a very, very weird mood, I will take the worst option. But I said to myself, devil, not today. Ekwensu, obrotata. It's never going to be me. Like, what is your problem? So I looked at him and I didn't say anything. I used my fob on the turnstile, went in, changed, and got to working out. Before I started to work out, because I was so angry, I was extremely furious. I called my man and I said to him, look at what happened. And he said, oh, I hope blah, blah. I said, no, everything is fine. How is it that when I finished at the gym, came in to change my clothes to leave, the man was now naked, trying to pick his bag, the way he looked at me as if I did something wrong to him. And I'm like, why are you pained? What is your problem? I'm not trying to say anything about anybody. But my dear, why are you here with your face that looks like cooked, stewed, distressed leather? What is your problem? The thing is, I don't understand why some people act like you are invisible. Anyway, that's just one of those things I just thought I would share. Because sometimes some people be moving mad and thinking that they are in the right. I just feel like certain people are so entitled, wicked, mean, and feel like they are above their station in life. My dear, nobody cares. Just respect other people. I will never, ever be in the business of disrespecting people because I feel like I can, or because maybe you are older than them. Respect is reciprocal. It doesn't matter. And aside from that, not even minding about respect is etiquette. Where is your courtesy? Is it how you say it? You know, I'm a village woman. I don't know. I've forgotten my English. But you know where I'm coming from. That's horrible. That is horrible. Let me tell you, the African man that I am, the Nigerian man that I am, that went to some of these mad secondary schools that we went to, if I was a teenager, my dear, I will be tearing singlets. They will be calling the police for both of us. But I just said to myself, no, no, there is no need. Anyway, please, let's leave people that are Higgy and Haga. Let's get into today's topic, actually. But before I get into today's topic, I just want to thank everybody. Honestly, thank you, all of you, for coming together with us, for amplifying queer voices with us, for speaking the truth and doing what needs to be done, and listening to the podcast as well. You know yourself, you are the good ones. And the thing is, this is something that everybody needs to know. It is about humanity at the end of the day. We are all humans. And we deserve to be here. We deserve to be amazing. We deserve to live and lead our lives fabulously. Yes, because I'm lovely. Okay. Okay. So, what we're going to be talking about today is the importance of mental health for LGBTQIA plus individuals, especially in homophobic societies. And you know where we're talking about countries like Nigeria, Ghana, Uganda, Jamaica, St. Kitts, all of them, the Caribbean, some places in certain developed countries, and some other places that I don't want to mention, if you know what I mean. So I want to let you know that nobody's going to break your soul. You won't break our soul. You won't break my soul. I'm telling everybody. Nobody's going to break you. I am going to tell you something here. I totally understand how difficult it is and how challenging it can be. That's why the blog post that I posted recently, making peace with the consequences of being gay. There's a lot of things that you're going to lose. For someone like me, two of my brothers not speaking to me, for people thinking that I need God, that I'm an evil person, and all of these things, it can take a massive toll on your mental and emotional well being. What I'm trying to say to you here is that we need to learn how to take care of ourselves. We need to. I have done a lot of work to get here. It took me a long way to get here. And I'm here. And I am unapologetic about who I am. I'm going to be fab in my best way possible. This is why it is important for us to have communities where we can come to. I am not going to sugarcoat it for you. It has never been easy. It wasn't easy for me. The things that I heard growing up and things like this, it has never been easy. Is it easy? No, but it gets easier, if that makes any sense. The thing is that a lot of people who are queer are in a place where you find yourself, depending on where you grew up, that you are all by yourself. You may not really have community, even if you suspect, especially if you live in places, societies that are homophobic, even if your gaydar tells you that someone is the same as you will still be extremely scared to be in community or to even speak to them because you don't know if you are reading wrong signals or if you go and speak to them maybe they will attack you. There's just so many layers to this. So because of this we grew up and tend to navigate our societies just being on our own, and that is not a nice place to be in. That's it. That is why you see that most queer people develop a technique to be able to protect themselves. It can be by way of screaming at people when they speak to them. It can be by way of just feeling sad and not being able to do anything. Some people can just cry. I feel like for me, because of I have gotten to a place in my life where I have really worked on myself and how I feel about things, that people will sit down, especially on social media like TikTok and things like this, and insult me and say all sorts of bullshit. I will not react to it, especially when I feel like you're not feeding me. Why am I going to be bothered about you? The only time I get to really react to people is when they wish where people death. Why I'm saying all of this is that this is a safe space for you. It is a safe space for you. We need to speak up. We need to find community and be in community. So our mental health is important. I just want to go into the unique mental health struggles that where people face. And I think that these things are not things that are always spoken about. I have lived and continue to live in mental struggles. It may not really be in the way that some people deal with it, but I will explain to you what I mean. So, like for instance, yesterday I was on TikTok Live, something came up. I was talking about the blog post actually. And in this blog post, I mentioned how my brothers don't speak to me and all of these things. And someone was saying something to me. They were insulting me. Within a second, I just had a moment of grief. That's how my struggles happen. I grieved something. that I haven't been able to grieve before. I did not show emotion. Nobody knew, but I just went through it in my head because I am very strong willed. I'm very strong willed. I am strong. If you don't know, you should know that already. I am strong. The reason why I'm saying this is that the things that has happened to me and how life has treated me and the way I have been spoken to by, say, be relatives and society and things like this. I'm not talking about the general things that happens to gay people, but I just feel like certain things that I'm not able to share because I don't know for the life of me why I am trying so hard to protect some of these people. Some of the things were not nice. They were not nice. Especially some of them started happening to me at a very tender age of 16, 17, 18, when I was told certain things that, oh, you are going to go to hell. You're never going to do this. Your life will be this and be this and be that. And the thing is, I will be lying to you if I said that I did not internalize some of those things because I did. I did. But what I did for myself as time went on was I was able to understand that that is not me, that is not my portion. That wasn't my portion. That wasn't my fault. It was never my fault to be a homosexual. It was never my fault to be born this way. And these are the things that you need to sometimes unpack through therapy or unpack by speaking to someone that you know that is a friend of yours or someone that is amazing who may be emotionally more mature than you are that can hold space for you. I'm speaking like a therapist now, my God. Because holding space is what therapists tend to say. Someone that can hold space for you, someone that can have your back and understand and say to you, my son, my daughter, you are okay. You are not wrong. Someone to listen to you and validate your experiences and your struggles. And a lot of times, in most cases, actually, we as queer people don't have that. The number of times where I have validated people who I understand their struggles, even when they show me bad character. And even sometimes with that bad character that they show me or disrespect or think that I don't have their backs, they will not understand. But I understand what they are going through because people have so many types of coping mechanism. Sometimes people can come up somewhere and say things about what they don't have to try to make themselves feel good. And I don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem with is when it becomes disrespectful. So if you know what I mean, I just feel like I don't know if I'm going on a tangent here, but you know what I'm saying. Just stay with me. So yeah. Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I need to get myself together. Okay, let's continue. Yeah. That is why if you listen to an album like Beyonce's Renaissance, songs like Cozy, You Won't Break My Soul, Cuff It, and all of these things, you will understand that you are unique. I feel like, not like I feel like, the reason why I'm mentioning this is some people get their healing in so many ways. So if music is your way of healing, just go and listen to that album. Listen to that album. There's so many tracks on that album that may help you. That is a resources that most people can have access to somehow, even if you're not able to afford it. Maybe you can listen to it on YouTube or something like this if it's there. So there's the uniqueness in our mental struggles. And I think that some of us extremely will never, ever be able to get over some of the trauma that we have. What we can do is just make friends with them and just deal with it and manage it. I said this to a friend of mine the other day. I said this in one of the episodes, and we're having conversation as well recently. And I said to him, you just need to get acquainted with some of the things that happens to you, but find a way to deal with it. I have told you the things that I need to tell you. It depends on you to be able to find a way to feel okay with them And it is never easy. Let me tell you, today is one of them. I woke up this morning. I was in a funk. I'm not going to lie to you. There are some people that are related to me that at one point I felt like beating the crap out of them. But is that a solution? Was that the right thing to do or to think about? No, because I realized that violence, anger, insulting people and trying to fight back or trying to convince people that will never change will never get you anywhere. I just feel like we as queer people need to just like live our lives and hope that some of these people that are doing all their higgy and haga may one day come around. And if they never come around, just leave them. I just want to let you know that family doesn't have to be biological. This is a family, our community. You need to always find community. The thing is our unique mental health struggles has to do with us living in survival mode all the freaking time. That is not a good place to be. That is not a good place to be. Did you hear the click of my toes? Oh my God. That is not a good place to be because you are constantly navigating homophobia, rejection, and discrimination. Constantly. On a constant basis. People who call themselves children of God, who believe that God sent them here, that they are very good people, and some of them, mind you, do the worst, right? They will tell you you need deliverance, find Jesus, do all of these things. You are constantly being judged. Do you know what that does to a human being? You did not choose to be who you are. Your sexuality is not something that you've decided to be. That is how you are made. Never, ever be apologetic for who you are. I know. It is hard. It is. But I have found comfort in the rejection and discrimination that I receive. I don't know how to explain this to make it make sense to anybody. But the best way for me to make it make sense for you to understand is that I have found peace in that rejection and discrimination because I do not fucking need your fucking permission. I don't need your permission. I don't need your validation and acceptance. I don't need it. I don't need you to accept me because I have made this my mantra, my affirmation that I don't fucking care. Because of that, no matter what you said to me, what you say to me, how you insult me, I am going to be okay. Because I know I am going to be okay. Because I continue to work on myself. This is the reason why I say to some people, coming out is not something that everybody has to do, but it is something that some people need to do because they need to speak it out. Spit it out. I'm a homo. I sleep with men. Say it. If you're a woman, say, I date women. Sometimes you need to speak those things out for you to be okay. For some people, they don't need to do it. That is true. That is the truth. But for all of us, whether you want to come out or not, you need to be at peace. Peace of mind. And the peace of mind is about having peace of mind with everything that has to be with you. The consequences of being gay, the consequences of being a lesbian, a trans woman, and all of these things. You have to make peace with those consequences. And once you've made peace with them, I am telling you from the bottom of my heart, you will be okay. I'm not saying life will just be easy, but nothing will phase you. I have my struggles. There are different kinds of struggles, like every other human being. There are times when you need to pay bills, when you need to buy food, when you need to pay for your transport and all of these things. You need to work, you need to pay your bills, you need to do all of those things. That is life because we live in a capitalist society. So you have to survive. You understand? So the thing is, the mental toll of hiding your identity or facing. This is such a heavy subject, even for me as someone that is as strong as I am. The mental toll of hiding your identity, facing hostility from family and society is horrible. It's horrible. It's horrible. There was a documentary I watched a few years ago. I think it was on the BBC in the UK. And this thing was centered around some black people in Atlanta, I think. I can't remember exactly. I remember one of the guys that was taking care of the kids, the young adults there, said that I don't think that I will ever be peaceful, be comfortable in a place like a facility, like a club or a bar for gay people because of the way I was raised. You know what I did? I was raised Catholic. But when I came out, I did not come out. I broke the closet. I picked up an axe and tore that thing down and say, look at me. I'm a homo. And that has done me a lot of good, I swear. It has. Because the mental toll, I got to a point where I can no longer hide. I couldn't. It was giving me problems. I was constantly lying. Excuse me. I was constantly lying to people. I was not attending events that I'm supposed to attend. If people invite me to get togethers and things like this, I will not go because I don't want to be explaining myself. Why don't you have a girlfriend? Why are you not seeing someone? When are you going to get married? What about children? I started doing these things. I said the thing about Kimberly, telling my brother that I have a girlfriend that is called Kimberly. But what I was doing as well, when I went to some of these get togethers and things like this, was I always would say to them that marriage is antiquated, that marriage is old fashioned, that marriage is not something that every one of us will have to do. They bought into that, but that wasn't what I wanted. I wanted marriage with a man. I wanted companionship with a man. I wanted a family with a man. I still want that, right? But I couldn't say it. And this was taking a heavy mental toll on me. I remember one time I went to a gay sauna in Manchester. If you live in Manchester, you know this gay sauna. It's called The Basement. It's on Ducey Street in Manchester. And I was about to go in, and there's a restaurant slash bar or something or club. They turned it to club every whatever that was there. And the doormen at the time were two black men. I am extremely sure they were Nigerians. I think one of them was Yoruba actually or so, because I overheard him say something. The way I was walking around because they were there, instead of me to just walk in and go and sleep with the man that I want to sleep with, I was pacing around and I found a way to, when I wanted to go in, I did my face like this when I went in. You know what? Looking back, that made me really, really sad because the way I was always doing mental gymnastics, this is why I always preach to people. When I speak to them, I say to them, why are you worried about what someone is going to say about you, what they will think? Because at the end of the day, if you die today, if you refuse to eat ishewu or salad or pepper soup or yam or cassava today, those people will continue to live and lead their lives. Why are you bothered? Why are you bothered? There was no need for that. But because of the internalized homophobia, because of me being because of me being scared of maybe they will know anyone from my family and go and tell them, I put myself in a mental prison that I did not cause for myself because society did that to me. And do not allow society and some good for nothing people who call themselves religious people, Christians, and all of these things to put you where you are not supposed to be. I want to tell you something today. If you are someone of African descent, just know that Your culture is okay with who you are. I say this all the time when people insult me when they come to my TikTok lives or when they leave comments on my Facebook post and things like this, or on Instagram, on YouTube. Free colonization. Before they brought Western religion to you, Western Christianity to you, where is something that is okay. That's why we have women husbands and all of these things. It is okay. Our spirituality and religion operated, our culture operated based on fluidity, balance, and duality. This was never a problem. It was never a problem. So I want to let you know today that that God they are weaponizing against you love you. You are not wrong. You are not wrong. I know I have said this on numerous occasions, but you are not wrong, my dear. My darling, we love you. We want you to be here. We want you to be okay. If you think that things are hard for you, you can always make friends that are allies and gay friends and all of these things and queer friends that will help you navigate through what you are going through. The impact of the impact of lack of safe spaces and representation on mental well-being is something that we need to talk about. I will give you an example. I have mentioned this before. My leg, because of where I'm sitting, it just feels like I don't have blood flow. Oh, I need to stretch. Blood flow. Biko kwa o Chineke bịa zọọ m. Ọ gịnị ka m mere? Ndị ichie m, ebee ka unu nọ? Bịanụ gbatịa m ụkwụ. Okay, don't mind me. So, the impact of lack of safe spaces and representation on mental well being. Can I just tell you something? I mentioned this a few episodes ago, and I think I've mentioned this in some of my videos. What I am doing here, what we are doing here, anyone that is queer that is speaking, is that we are amplifying queer voices. And especially, it is needed in the Black community, in the people of African descent community. We are amplifying queer African voices, and we are redefining visibility and representation. The reason why this is important is that if people see that we are speaking, there are people who will have problems with us doing these things. Even some gay people, some queer people, some lesbians, because of they feel like they are not comfortable. But somebody has to do it. Somebody has to do it. Because if you don't have representation and safe spaces for queer people to go to, it can be horrible. And I don't know why I am so emotional today. Why am I emotional talking about this topic? The number of times I wanted to cry and I held myself back. I'm not going to cry, please. I'm not going to cry. No, I'm not going to cry. When you don't have safe spaces to go to, when you don't have representation, that can be a massive toll on your mental well-being and mental health. I will give you an example. Yesterday was very mad on TikTok, and somebody came up and said to me, how do we deal with this? Everyone was talking back to them. Emrad was talking back to them. Jade was talking back to them. Aziz came up and read them for filth. I spoke to some of them. Some of these people that are coming to these safe spaces that we have, where we find a space for us to congregate and just be ourselves. Some of them are gay. Some of them are lesbians. Some of them are non-binary. But because society has told them that is bad, they try to absolve themselves. They are in denial and they don't want anybody to know that they are gay. They come and shout at us. The thing is, no matter how calm you are as a human being, if you continue to get constant insults, there comes a time where you will try to fight back at least. That is human nature. That is the reason why yesterday I just left them. I said to them, just do it. I just don't swear, don't use words that are bad like knife, kill, and all of these things, but just speak back to them. One of this particular guy that claimed that he's in Imo State or somewhere and said, oh, if I see you, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to do this. And he has his face there. Some of these people may want to leave Nigeria tomorrow. Everything you do on the internet, there is an audit trail. There is audit trail. Even if you think people are not screen recording, they are. You don't know who is watching. That is why some of you will go for job interviews, visa applications, visa interviews, and things like this, and you get rejected. And you don't know why. Sometimes it's because of things like this, because what you're coming is to come to one of the safe spaces that we have as queer people, and you are moving mad. You are being mean. That is not okay. That is not okay. What is it for you? What is in it for you? What joy do you derive from doing something like this? We are not in your space. We are not preventing you from living your life. What is the problem? I still want to really understand something. I totally understand what the problem is somehow. But at the same time, I don't get it. Why are you so horrible? Why are you so mean that someone is saying, I'm a lesbian, I'm gay, I'm living my life? Why are you so angry about it? Why? It does not make any sense whatsoever to me at all. Some of you don't understand the meaning of humanity. Some of you call yourselves religious people, that you are holy, but you don't do one of those things. You will judge. You will be mean. You don't show love. You don't have empathy. None of those things. Some of you come here all the time to our platforms and you tell us that we're going to go to hell and hellfire. My dear, you already live in hell. Some of you will come and say to me, oh, you're old. I don't understand what being old is. Do you guys understand that there are people who are over 100 years? There are lesbians and homosexuals. Do you understand that people have been gay and homosexual for thousands and thousands of years before you and I existed? Some of you are big, big mumu. You are big, big mumu. That is why I know and I have concluded that your destiny has been tied. That is why some of you mean homophobic people, transphobic people will never, ever, ever in a million years find peace of mind. Because if you continue to move wayward like this, your soul will continue to be restless. Restless until the rest of your days. You don't have common sense. Common sense is free, but you don't have it. I want to tell you something. Because of queerness has always been African. Anyone that is queer is divinely protected. You are never going to be able to do anything. You think that if someone passes away, you end their lives because of you can't see them physically. Their soul is still happy. But you, your mind, body, and soul is in hellfire. You go to bed, you don't sleep, you are restless, nothing is working for you because of your bad belly. You better stop doing that because we are in our safe space. All we are doing is trying to represent. And if you come there and want to know something, ask questions, respect yourself. We will happily speak to you. You don't have to come and say, your nyansh they leak, your nyansh is leaking, you are a fool, blah, 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 blah. No, because you are the one that is a fool. So I am going to say to you, my queer folks, do not allow this to impact you till we rise. And we are going to continue to rise above all of this nonsense. Because there's a saying, what won't kill you will make you stronger. And that is the absolute truth. Because some of these mofos are absolutely disgusting. And so is their life because their destiny has been chewed by a stray dog. I just need to say something. We need to find coping mechanisms and self care. That is something that I am a big proponent of. I always say this. Is proponent the right word? If it's the wrong word, I apologize. I have said this so many times. You need to find mechanisms to cope and mechanisms for self-care. There's so many things to do. therapy and mental health resources can help, even when access is limited. What am I saying here? So there was a program I saw. Is it on Amazon Prime or Netflix? I can't remember. Or Apple TV. My dear, I can't remember. But I watched this and it was about therapy and things like this. And there was this place in Africa. God, what is wrong with me? I can't remember things this past few days. It's so weird. That's because a lot is going on. I've been doing a lot. I've been working too much. I've been so busy. Like, I've not had enough sleep like the way I would have loved. But we moved. That is adulting for you. So literally, this therapy session, they were showing different places where people go to therapy. And this particular grandma in this African country has a chair where she sits. I think it's in the village, on close to a tree. And some of these people come to her to speak to her about things. And she will listen to them. People go through things. So why I'm saying this is that you can find therapy resources when things are limited. There are organizations for queer people. I just don't know why I can't remember the names at the top of my head. Is it ILG? International Lesbian and Gay something. I can't remember. I do apologize extremely deeply. I can't remember. There are a lot of resources that you can use if you certain charities, certain LGBTQIA plus charities can help with this. What I'm saying is that therapy is important. Self-care and therapy is part of self-care. So you can speak to somebody that you trust, somebody that you feel that will understand you, somebody that will understand you and understand where you're coming from and things like this. I have said this, I'm not ashamed to say this. I have done therapy. I do from time to time. Whenever, sometimes I will go like months and years and won't do anything. Then I will just feel like I need to speak to someone about things because I don't like to trauma dump on my friends. So I would just speak to the therapist about something. And this is something that you can do. And sometimes maybe you can have your support system where you have someone that is okay and who will understand you when you speak to them and give you certain tools for you to be able to cope with the madness that we face as queer people. So there are different kinds of resources. And if you are not able to pay for therapy, there are apps that you can use. Oh, there's this app. Let me see if I can find it. Where is this app? There's this app, my guy. That one is cheaper. You can use that for meditation and things like this. Yeah, it's called Headspace. Headspace is one of them. Headspace, you can use these things for therapy, like for meditation and things like this, where you just sit down and just be silent and listen to all of these things. And there are a lot of medication and meditation podcasts everywhere that you can listen to. Calming music and things like this. Just take time out from negativity and relax. Don't feel like you are alone. You are not alone. We are here with you. But I will stress, don't carry your burden alone, even if you are not able to speak to a therapist. And self-care can be so many things. I don't want to go into like you doing this. Just whatever you think is your self-care that will make you feel better, do that. And I want to let you know that the power of journaling, and I have mentioned meditation, creative outlets, and self-expression is so important. So what I mean about this is like write down things that are positive. Me, I'm giving you this advice, but I haven't really done it because I bought this book for journaling. I bought it from Amazon. Maybe I've written my name in it. If I hadn't written my name, that I think maybe this would be a gift I'm going to give to some queer people that are close to me. I'll just order it and send to them when I can. It's important. What it allows you to do is for you to write the things that have been good in your life, the things that have made you happy, that have given you most peace in your life, your wins and things like this. Don't write your losses there. But if you want to write your losses, then you can write it and use it to just see how you've come, how far you've come. But write your wins, write things that you've achieved, write things that makes you happy, write the good things, marvel in them. I have always said this, success doesn't have to always be financial gain. And that is the problem we have, me included, where sometimes we measure financial gain based on success. This is something that I worked on a lot to get to the mental space that I am, and I'm still working on that. Because most times you are always told that, oh, that person has this, that person has this. And even more so, if you are gay, you are queer, you want to prove them wrong by having all of this success. No, you don't have to prove anybody wrong. You don't have to. You just have to live your life at your own pace. Success is you waking up every morning and doing whatever it is that you are doing. Success is you just being you and being amazing. Success is you having peace of mind. Success is you being healthy. Have you never heard that health is wealth? So think about that. Creative outlets. Do things that you like. Create things that makes you happy. Express yourself. If you like to create content, create it and talk about things that you like. Express yourself. Maybe through fashion, through art, through music, through dance, through creating vlogs on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram, anywhere. Do the things that makes you happy. Use those things. If you are someone that can crochet, crochet. Do things like that. Express yourself. Dress how you feel. Wear what you want to wear. Don't care about what anybody is going to say. Don't care about them saying, oh, you dress like a girl, you are gay, you are this. No. However you want to express yourself, be it through fashion, do it. If you like to wear earrings, nose rings, septum rings, belly rings, tattoos, do the things that brings you joy. Because at the end of the day, you've got you. Some of these people, we are all going to die alone and be buried alone. Express yourself and enjoy yourself. Set boundaries and remove toxic influences from your life. And this is something a lot of you don't do. My dear, the way I have cut certain people off when they did cut me off, and sometimes before they do, I see it before them. I just be like, go, Fernandum, leave me alone. Stay over there. I can love you from afar. And I'm going to say this as someone that is from Nigeria, from Africa. Our people don't know how to respect people's boundaries. Even strangers, once they see that you are dudu like them, that you are black like them, that you wonyoji kahawa. Once they see that, they feel like they have the right to come on and be all up in your business. They will see you on the bus. They will say nonsense. They will ask you questions and want to be in your business. Look at what happens on social media. Some of these people will come and say the maddest things to you because they don't respect boundaries. Create boundaries. Remove all toxic influences in your life. The people that I don't speak to and I will never ever speak to. And let me tell you, unnecessary arguments, anything that you start thinking that is going to be a negativity that is making you feel uncomfortable, that is making you feel some type of way, that thing is toxic. Remove it and remove it expeditiously. My dear, do. Your mental well-being is important. You have to. I know setting boundaries and creating boundaries is one of the most difficult things to do, especially if you don't want to lose your family, your friends, and things like this. But is someone a family when they bring you pain? Is someone a friend when they bring you discomfort? Think of it. If I love you, I will love and support you, the whole of you. Unless when you do something that is actually wrong, then I can say that is wrong. But why can't you just love people that are in your life and support them? Just remove people that are higgy and haga. We don't want higgy haga. We don't want dilulu. We don't want wahala. We don't want problem. We want toxic free environment for us to thrive. Let me tell you, sometimes when you remove certain people in your life, you will begin to see how your life will flourish. Some of you have people in your life that are bringing you down, that are holding you back, and you think they are your friends. You'll be like, oh, boy, I love him. He's my... But you know that that person doesn't want the best for you. You know that. Once your instinct starts to tell you something about something, follow your gut feeling because it is always right. Or if you don't want to do that, then proceed with caution when you are around people like that. Set boundaries. and do it right now. Honestly, community support is important and support systems. Yeah, it is. Chosen family and safe spaces can help with your mental health. And I don't think a lot of people understand the importance of this. I am going to tell you something. Coming to know a few queer people that I've known over the years and being around people that are like me, where we kiki, we laugh, we talk about things has been really, really, really helpful for me. Even the fact that I'm so strong because it's so warm and sweet and beautiful. Despite the fact that sometimes you can have your ups and downs because that's what family do and things like this. You need to build your support system, your chosen family. Sometimes it's people that you don't even expect is going to be your support system. I've said this before and I'm going to say it again. When I came out to one of my friends, he said to me, "We are not blood relatives, but you are my family. And I will always be here no matter what. If it requires me to hold hands with you, come along with you, do what needs to be done, I am always, always, always will be here. The way I bawled, the way I cried, that's a chosen family. I have a few people that I have gotten to know that are my family. One of my friends literally in Manchester, sometimes I will call him. I will bare my soul. I did this like, when was this? I think it was like 2 years ago, was the one where I had a lot of things that I wanted to talk about my brothers actually. And I've talked to my man about it, but he was one person I wanted to talk about this thing to in a way whereby I would just be, because I don't know how to explain this to make it make sense, but I was effing and jeffing. I was saying fuck them. I was saying all of these things. And this conversation was for 1 hour. After that, it just felt like a weight was lifted off my shoulder because the conversation I had with my guy about it was different, but I just wanted to swear. I wanted to insult. I wanted to like, this were the things I wanted to do to him. I just wanted to complain. And he's the friend that I understand that I can shout and scream. There's a difference. I can do that with my guy when I'm angry, but because this friend is someone that he'll be like, yes, yes, he's very, very balanced and everything. And we talked about it, and he gave me all the right advice. He said things that I knew, but I needed somebody else to say it to me. So you need friends like that. I'm not saying that you should just call your friend every time and complain, because your friends have their own issues as well. But when you have the right people, sometimes you can just tell them how you feel. Because the reason why I went to him was when it first happened. At the time, I hadn't met my man. So when it first happened, he knew about it. So I went to someone that knew when it happened. So I just went to him and spoke to him about it. So start building your safe space from today. Start to build it. Start. It is never too late. Even if you are in your 70s, you can do it. In your 80s, you can do it. No time is late. Be around people and be in spaces that can help you feel okay mentally. Please, let me tell you, people forget that having it's a role actually, because it's important to have LGBTQIA plus friends, allies, and online community, because this will provide you emotional support. I've said this earlier in this podcast as we are speaking. It is important for you to have these support systems and things like this, because they will provide you with emotional support. The impact of representation and representation and visibility in helping queer people feel alone is something that we always overlook. Because all of these things, if you join all of them together, you're not going to feel alone when there is representation, when there is community, when there are online places that you can go to, when you have allies and friends. That's why you have the people who will come and fight on our behalf when people are moving mad towards us. And this is important because it is going to make you not to feel alone. I remember somebody saying the other day that they feel alone. And I said to them, you don't have to feel alone. You don't have to feel alone. You don't have to feel alone. just know that you are not alone. I'm just going to give a few tips that I think has worked for me in regards to protecting my mental health as a queer person, how I was able to stay strong mentally while living in this madness that is called society, that is unaccepting, and all of these things. For me, I created boundaries. I made peace with myself. I removed myself from toxic environments. I stopped being friends with people who always have a thing or two to say about me being gay. I stopped seeking acceptance, validation, and permission. I stopped feeling ashamed. All of these things helped me in regards to my mental well being. I just don't want to be in a place where I am not wanted. I want to be in environments where I am loved, where I am respected, where I am valid. So I did this quickly. This is not something that can happen for everybody in one day. This is not something that can happen for you in one day. And I think that sometimes it can take a long time for you to understand how to deal with this. But with time, reading a lot of things and listening to a lot of people speak and working on myself and actually crying. Because what I did as well was I cried, I grieved because there were losses. I had a lot of loss. I grieved them. Because I did so, now I feel better. Those are the things that you can do for yourself. If someone is no longer in your life, like a family member and things like this, it is okay for you to grieve them and then move on because that will help you. You need to know how to recognize mental health warning signs and knowing when to seek help. What do I mean by this? I feel like sometimes because of our situation, it may get to a point where you start to become depressive and really, really suffer. And if you don't understand this and not speak to somebody, you may get to a point whereby it will just be really horrible for you. That is why it is important for you to always speak. I say this all the time. Speak, say it, cry if you need. Because if you don't do all of these things, it can get to a point where it is too much for you. You don't want to have breakdown. You don't want to have any mental breakdown because of who you are. I remember actually there was a girl that came on TikTok live the other day. I think she lives in the Netherlands. And she said one of her friends wanted to unalive themselves because of the way things are and being queer and all of these things. And that's something that I don't want to happen to anybody. And fingers crossed, I'm praying for that young individual, for them to find peace and be okay with who they are. And my prayers are with them. My heart goes out to them because that is a horrible situation to be in. I'm just going to give you a personal story. When I came out to my sister, we were having conversations. And I said to her, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to go and kill myself? Do you know that people do this, blah, blah, blah? And the way that conversation went, it was very deep. So I hung up. The way this woman wanted to blow up my phone, I called her and said, no, I'm not doing anything to myself, but I'm just explaining to you. Because people don't understand what this can do. So if you are getting to a point like this, there's so many people to speak to. There are mental health facilities to speak to. You can Google them. I can't remember their names. Now, I know their names. I know a few, but I don't know. I don't want to give information that is not correct, if you know what I mean. So you can Google them and speak to a lot of these organizations. Know when to seek help. Okay? Please. You need to find joy, purpose, and self love despite all these challenges. That is when it comes, that is where being persistent, resolute, and strong comes into play. You need to find power in doing this. You need to be strong. I know it is easier said than done, but you need to. You need to. You need to. You need to know what your purpose is. Why are you here? Find joy. Even when your joy comes, find a way to sustain that joy. This is something that I'm not able to advise you on specifically. But the thing is, your purpose in life can be your passion, can be, aside from being your passion, actually, you need to believe and trust in yourself. Trust, especially, is the most important thing. Because when you trust in yourself, no matter what, you're going to be strong. You have to be powerful and strong to withstand all of this madness. So find a way to do that. Find a way to do that. I just want to let you know this episode is a real and necessary conversation about the mental health challenges where individuals face and how to not just survive, but thrive. Because taking care of your mind is just as important as living your truth. Please, please take care of yourself. Take care of yourself, please. Please. I am going to be ending this episode here by saying to you, prioritize your mental health and seek support when needed. Please. Please. Make sure to share this episode to your friends. I want to invite you to write me. I'm going to create an email address for this podcast specifically. It's going to be Iwokwe and Unfiltered at my wherever. I'm going to do that. But you can write in to info@myownKindofWrongWay.com for now, just to share your experiences. We can read that. We were going to read that anonymously and things like this. And next episode is going to be a vibe. I just want to thank each and every one of you for being here. Continue to be you, because who you are is not wrong. I have been Charles. I will see you in the next episode. Love is love. Have a wonderful time. Bye for now.